Good morning and welcome back to Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and this morning we've got an emergency call out for a vehicle that won't start. Before this person has to leave for work at 3, we're going to go do the diagnosis. Whether that turns into fixing it in the same video, I'm not sure what the plan is. We'll have to talk about them whenever we figure out what the problem is. But we're going to head up there, do the diagnosis here this morning, and then like I said, maybe we fix it, maybe we don't. We'll see what they want to do. I don't know if they have another vehicle. All I know is they need it done before 3 o'clock today. So first thing we're doing this morning, we'll head up there and we'll get a look at it. And special thanks to 𝘮𝐿 for powering this video with their OBD2 scanner. We'll take a look at that when we get up there. All right, here we are. Here's the car. Cool old, not old, it's a green Toyota Corolla. If you can't see the color that well, it's a nice green, which is an unusual color for a vehicle, but I like it. So I haven't done anything yet. Here's this OBD2 scanner I was talking about. We'll take a look at. It's 𝘮𝐿 600, and yeah, 𝘮𝐿's giving me a couple of these, so one to test out and one to give away. All right, and here's that 𝘮𝐿 600 that 𝘮𝐿's giving us to give away. In this case, the giveaway is going to be powered by merch sales. So I've discounted the merchandise as much as possible, so I'm not even really making any money on that merchandise. Just trying to, get people out there getting merchandise. So if you buy a piece of merchandise, send me an email with a picture of it, and then you'll be entered in this giveaway. In a month we'll choose a giveaway for the OBD2 scanner, and all I have to do is buy a piece of merch and send me an email. So we'll use this to diagnose it. Let's go ahead and see if it cranks and see if we can get it figured out here. All right, see what it sounds like. Okay, it almost wanted to start there. So it might be fuel is what it sounds like. Let me see. Now what we're gonna do to test the fuel, let me just cycle it and see if I can hear the fuel pump a few times. I'm gonna cycle the key a few times, see if I can hear the fuel pump, and then I'll see if there's a valve on the fuel rail here. I can see if it's got pressure, which I don't see one. So we'll see, we'll check the live data and see if this OBD2 scanner does live data. If not, I have another scan tool that does. So this is a good entry-level OBD2 scanner, but we'll be taking a look at it here. Hopefully it does. And I'm assuming it'll have fuel pressure since there's no valve here on the fuel rail. We're going to give it a little bit of carb cleaner as well. Just a bit of carb cleaner in here to see, and again, listen for that fuel pressure. So that's kind of 3 different things we'll do there. Is an audio test, and then we'll check the OBD2 scanner, spray a little bit of carb cleaner in there and try and start it. Now what this does, if there's not fuel pressure, it's just going to, this works as a fuel. It's going to give it something to fire with, and if it tries to start with this, we know we're not getting fuel, and that's kind of what it sounds like since it's wanting to fire and then it's not, so it's probably not spark. Let's see what that does. All right, well that's all I needed to hear. Is it definitely tried to start there a lot better with that carb cleaner, so it's most likely a fuel problem. Let's check the fuel data on that OBD2, and then we'll see if it's got an accessible fuel pump we can test for power down there. Yeah, we'll look at fuses, see if it's getting power to that pump, and we'll start with that. Okay, fuse center here, let's see if they're labeled. They are, that's good. Horn, defrost, spares. EFI, so that EFI may be it right here. Those may be injectors as well. EFI main, it's gonna be this one. Or this one? 40 amp, what do we have there? 40 EFI. Let's go ahead and see if we can hear that fuel pump trying to do anything. And at the same time, I'm going to plug in that OBD2 scanner and see if we got any live data for that fuel pressure. Okay. All right, so here's a look at that OBD2 scanner from 𝘮𝐿. Right off the bat, quality feels really nice. The buttons feel, they're nice and sticky, but they have a nice click to them, so just right off the bat it looks good. So we'll go to OBD2 system here and do a scan on that system. And again, to win this, all you got to do is buy some merch. Again, I made it as cheap as I possibly could, so I'm not trying to make any money on it, just trying to get my merch out there for this giveaway. So yeah, buy some merch and send me an email and you'll be entered in the giveaway for this, and we'll do the giveaway in 1 month from the post date of this video. So check back on the channel, you know, send me an email with a picture of your merch, or at least your order, you know, if you order it like a day before the drawing is over. It's got a quick setting to go straight to the data trouble codes, so that's super nice. We'll go to the OBD2 system here and we'll pull up the live data and see if we got any data on that fuel stream, but so far super nice OBD2 tool here. So we've got no codes. Let's go to the data stream. It does have live data, so that's good. And we don't have any info on this fuel system. And hopefully the fuel pump's accessible. It's a Toyota, so usually they do a good job of making sure you can get to those. And we'll see if it's getting power pump, and we'll see if it's getting power. If it is and it's not working, then we'll also send power directly to that fuel pump with a power probe, just to double check that it's that pump itself. So let's get over there and check it out. All right, so there's no inertia switch on this vehicle. So here's the fuel pump right here. They do have an access under the seat. I'll pop the cover off of it here real quick, and we'll take a look at that. So this is interesting. I guess the unit body was kind of weak and they put that reinforcement in there, but should be easy to test from here. Again, no inertia switch, so it should be getting power. If not, it's got a couple of different fuses, but there isn't one specific for the fuel pump, so we'll check it out. All right, so we just got to pry up. Under here it's just glued down, so just gently around the edge. Take our time. Just work a flathead screwdriver around. There, we can get our finger and just wiggle it up without bending that. Here's our connector, so go ahead, undo this. I just went ahead and pulled the connector, that way I don't even mess with the wires on this, and we'll test here. So let me pull up a wiring diagram for this and put the key in the on position and check back. All right, well this one's getting power now. That we try and crank it. Let me hold that a little better and just cycle the key here. Okay, well, that got power when it was supposed to, so it's definitely that fuel pump. There you can see. We'll plan on replacing this pump and I'll let her know. But for right now, we can put this back together. It's not a big deal. Sometimes if it was a lot of work to put it back together, I'd give them the option of leaving it undone so that they you don't have to pay for it to be taken back apart again, but this one's not a big deal. So let me go talk to her and see what she wants to do. We may replace it, we may just let it be. All right, well that part's gonna be in here later, so for the meantime, we're gonna play some Frisbee because my kids are here with me, so we'll wait on that part and play a game of Frisbee golf. All right, here we are. We're back out with this fuel pump. We're going to get it removed with that power probe earlier. I kind of used it as a multimeter just to test and see if it was getting voltage. And then I think the camera didn't record sending voltage to that fuel pump. It didn't kick on. And we're going to go ahead, remove the old fuel pump here. We'll clean that off real quick. And now that I'm thinking about that, so we don't get dirt down in there. And we've got a removal tool for it. So pretty straightforward. Should just be a couple minutes here. And I guess before we take the old one out, we'll take the new one and verify that it looks the same. Which it indeed does, so that's good. And the car always tends to smell like gas for a little while after you replace a fuel pump on the inside when you do them under the seat like this, because, well, getting a lot of fumes in the car. Be careful with this delicate plastic stuff. No need to pry anything in a weird angle and break it. Oh, I guess we got to remove this retainer all the way out of the way. But it's important with this plastic stuff not to overdo it. If something's not going, just double check why. Okay. Out goes that. Put that somewhere safe, and there we go. Alright, so here's this tool from AutoZone. It's tool number 27160 from O'Reilly's or wherever else, I'm not sure. But if you're working on these plastic ones, don't use a cold punch and rubber mallet or whatever to get these out. Just use one of these tools. This doesn't break the little plastic fins. You can see it's just got 2 notches. Put it on either side of that fuel pump like that. You can tighten them down. Typically, in my experience, it doesn't have to be super tight. Then with a normal wrench, you can take this right off. And this is the best tool for this job. All right, there's the ring off. We'll get that old pump out of there, get the new pump in. Just hold it here for a minute, let all that fuel drain out. And be careful. I mean, it's nice and cool right now, so the fumes are pretty low. But when it gets hot, these fumes can build up real bad. All right, there's the ring off. We'll get that old pump out of there, get the new pump in. Just hold it here for a minute, let all that fuel drain out. And be careful. I mean, it's nice and cool right now, so the fumes are pretty low. But when it gets hot, these fumes can build up real bad. Try not to spill too much. We'll put that in a plastic bag and get it out of here. All right, now let's test it. There we go. All right, now that's running good. That's a job well done.